In Lesson 6.2, we're going to talk about rational expressions that are going to be added and subtracted together. And the rules for adding and subtracting rational expressions are as much similar as how we would add and subtract fractions, meaning we have to have common denominators. So in example number 1, we're going to add these two together. So they already have the common denominator of x. So I make one common denominator of x, and then I'm going to add my numerators together. Combine like terms, 3 plus 4. I'm going to have x plus 7 over x. Example number 2. I already have a common denominator, so I'm going to put one denominator, x squared minus y squared. Then I'm going to look to my numerator. I have 4x squared minus 5xy, and I'm adding 2xy minus y squared to it. I'm going to combine my like terms. My like terms are my xy. So I have 4x squared, negative 5xy plus 2xy would be negative 3xy minus y squared over x squared minus y squared. So I have simplified. Okay. When a numerator is subtracted, we have to make sure we take care of the subtraction sign. So we need to change the sign of each term of the polynomial. So here I have the same denominator, so I'm going to write it once, x plus 3. In my numerator, I'm going to have 4x plus 5, and I'm going to minus the binomial of x minus 2. So this is what they mean by taking care of the sign. We have to distribute the negative to all of our terms after what's being subtracted. So I have 4x plus 5 minus x plus 2. So whatever was positive became negative, whatever negative was become positive, over x plus 3. Combine like terms, 4x minus x would be 3x, 5 plus 2 would be 7, over x plus 3. And if we have to list the restrictions on our domain, x cannot equal negative 3, because if it was negative 3, I would get a 0 in my denominator. So examples 1, 2, and 3, we added, we subtracted when the denominator was the same. Now we're going to look at something called the LCM, the least common multiple. So we're finding the multiples that two things have the least likely in common. So we have 21x, and we're going to prime factorization this. 7 times 3 times x. 3x squared is 3 times x times x. With the LCM, we're looking for the most times which a number or a variable occurs at. So they both have a 3 that occurs once. This one has a 7, this one doesn't, but a 7 occurs once. This has 1x and this has 2 x's, so the most that it occurs is 2 times, so we call it x squared. So 21x squared is the least common multiple. Here, when you have a trinomial, you're looking for factors of negative 12 that sum up to give us 1. So we're looking at 4 and negative 3. So we're going to have x plus 4, x minus 3. This is a common denominator, so it factors into x plus 4, x minus 4. The most that x plus 4 occurs is once. The most that x minus 3 occurs is once, and the most that x minus 4 occurs is once. And that's your LCM. And we're going to use our LCM when we need to find how to add and subtract rational functions that do not have a common denominator. So 21x is 7 times 3 times x. 3x squared is 3 times x times x. So your LCM is 21x squared. So if I have 2 over 21x, I'm missing just an x to make x squared. Plus 5 over 3x squared, I am just missing a 7 to make that 21. So I'm going to have 2x over 21x squared plus 35 over 21x squared. Now my denominator is the same, 21x squared. My numerator I combine 2x plus 35, and I can't simplify this anymore.